Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets looking to get right following a shocking loss to the San Antonio Spurs. They're hosting the up and down Brooklyn Nets in the first quarter. How about Michael Porter Jr. just getting up and throwing it down? Another poster for MPJ. Remember, he dunked on Zach Collins and really made Zach Collins mad last time out. Jokic inside. He ain't going to dunk on you often, but he's going to put in some work. So is this guy. How about the emergence of Mikal Bridges? He's just shooting everybody nowadays. His signature after he knocks in the trifecta. 25 points for Bridges. Jokic, a disgusting spin move. Keep in mind, this dude's 6'11", 7 feet legit. He shouldn't be able to move like that. Speaking of move like that, Jokic with the moves like Jagger, the block, the rebound, and the dish, the MPJ who nails the three. Jokic continuing to put in some work. He had an unreal stat line in this one. More on him in a sec. But first, let's show you some love to Jamal Murray. A three-pointer to beat the halftime buzzer. Nuggets, though, getting all they can handle and then some from Bridges and the Nets. How about a 9-point game as Royce O'Neal cleans up the Bridges mess late in the third? And then look at this ball fake from Dorian Finney-Smith. That is beautiful to freeze old Uncle Jeff. Finney-Smith buries the three. Fourth quarter. Nicholas Claxton still working on that Most Improved Player of the Year award. He's in the running. His jump shot puts the Nets up by 13. He had 20. Here comes Jokic and the Nuggets. Beautiful dime to Braum, who puts it in. And then Jokic cleaning up his own mess. He had 20 rebounds to go along with 11 assists and 35 points. 27 triple-double of the season, 103rd of his career, but it's going to come in a losing effort once again as Finney-Smith knocks in the three. Jokic gets a chance to win it at the buzzer. So the Nuggets go pretty much an entire season without losing a game that Jokic had a triple-double in. And now they lose their second straight game that Jokic had a triple-double in. Nets outlast Denver by 2. Joel Embiid's pursuit of his first Most Valuable Player award continues. On Sunday, his Philadelphia 76ers hosted the woeful Washington Wizards, which gave Embiid an easy opportunity to put up some great stats. Joel Embiid out in transition, a little don't mind if I do. And then how about Harden setting his mans up appropriately? It's Harden once again nutmegging and then dishing it to Embiid against the Wizards. He did that earlier in the season. Kristaps Porzingis doing all he can to keep the Wizards around on both ends of the court. You saw the play inside. And how about the block? It'll end up being a Corey Kispert jam. Remember him? He had a career-high time, 25 points for the Wizards in this one. Harden doubles the Sixers' lead in the second with the three-pointer. Harden's been looking really good, man. I continue to say that, and I mean it. Joel Embiid always looks good. How about the big fella hanging mid-air and scoring? Third quarter, Embiid finding Harden. Finds the bottom of the net for 3. James Harden in Philadelphia about to win their 5th game in a row. Embiid is about to put up another 30-piece. How about the league's leading scorer, Joel Embiid? He's currently 0.4 of a point ahead of Luka, by the way. DeAnthony Melton will pick up some slack in the fourth. A couple of three-pointers. Puts this game out of reach for the Wizards. And then if it wasn't already over, how about James Harden creating some distance between himself and the defender and spraying Morris for 3. That is disgusting. 18 and 14 for the bearded one. 34 and 8 for Joel Embiid. 112-93 for the Philadelphia 76ers as they win. Well, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did not expect this to be the case, but it is the case. With about 15 games to go in the regular season, we have an MVP race. This thing is not over. I thought Nikola Jokic wrapped the MVP up back in February, But give credit where credit is due. Joel Embiid continues to ball out. The Philadelphia 76ers as a team continue to ball out. And ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a race. Jokic in hot pursuit of his third straight MVP. If the race ended today, you pin me to a wall and asked me to cast my vote, I would still give the slight edge to Jokic, but that race is becoming one that's a lot closer than I expected. Jokic puts up a master of a stat line against the Brooklyn Nets. Joel Embiid puts up great numbers as well. He's the league's leading scorer. Not as great numbers as Jokic. Let's be real about the conversation. But here's what a lot of Joel Embiid supporters are saying. They're saying, hey, if you just watch the dang game, yes, both Jokic and Embiid are great on offense, both of them. Fantastic talents in their own ways offensively. Embiid, though, is a really good to great defender. Jokic is not a great defender. He doesn't have great defender nights at all. He has some good nights, a lot of average nights. And they're saying if you just watch the game, the guy that's more valuable night in, night out on both ends of the court with no glaring weaknesses is their guy, Joel Embiid. Jokic supporters are saying, hey, our guy's averaging a triple-double. Our guy puts up monster stats for his team every night and asks to run the offense. The Philadelphia 76ers have a guy named James Harden running their offense. No disrespect to guys like Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr. They're not running the offense the way Jokic is asked to run the offense for Denver night in, night out. Then the Philadelphia supporters will say, well, hold on now. James Harden wasn't an MVP or an all-star this year. So don't throw in our face that we got all-stars around Joel Embiid, just like your guy who has benefited from this in the past. Technically, Joel Embiid is the only all-star on the Philadelphia 76ers team. Then you got the Jokic supporters that will respond with, hey, I hear you, but James Harden is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Y'all know that. And he most likely got snubbed. And if anybody had to grade these two teams' players in order, it would obviously be Embiid or Jokic 1, 2, and then Harden number 3, and then maybe, just maybe, you like Murray, some people like Maxey. So there are like different ways you can have this conversation. It is a race, though, and it's going to be a race to the finish. And if the Denver Nuggets had plans on just coasting to the finish line, thanks to the Sacramento Kings and thanks to Joel Embiid, it's not going to be that way. They're going to have to play their guy pretty much to the finish line to lock this MVP up. It's also worth noting that voters don't want to give Jokic the award. They're trying to find a way out of it. I'm just being honest about the whole conversation. So Jokic has that going against him. They don't want to give Jokic a third MVP in a row. They want to give it to Embiid or Giannis or somebody else. So he's got that going against him. So if he gives anybody any room to pick elsewhere, then that's what voters are going to do. I believe that. Matter of fact, some voters are saying they're still picking Embiid. And I don't think that's right? Like, I think you should watch the games and see what player is the most impactful. So we got us a race. Y'all let me know, who is your MVP frontrunner with about 15 games to go in the season? By the way, these two teams' records, they're both tied at 22 in the loss column. Denver's up a half a game. So that race is even getting tougher. Sixers third in the East. Denver obviously number 1 out west.